This is the story of a significant moment in my life, a moment of both betrayal and empowerment. It's about my journey through unexpected challenges and my determination to seek justice. My name is Freja, and as I approach my 55th birthday, I find myself reflecting on the twists and turns that have shaped my life. It all began with a seemingly innocuous gesture, the exchange of what would turn out to be the final gift from my husband, Eric. Little did I know that this gift would mark the end of our marriage and the beginning of a tumultuous period of self-discovery. Eric handed me a set of divorce papers, coldly informing me of his decision to marry someone else. His words cut deep, as he thanked me for my years of financial support, reducing our relationship to that of a mere cash dispenser. For 2 decades, Eric and I had built a life together. We met in our 30s, both with established careers, I, a diligent office worker, and he, the proprietor of a family-owned liquor store. Our relationship blossomed, fueled by mutual respect and shared dreams. Yet, beneath the surface of our seemingly idyllic marriage lurked secrets and deceit. It wasn't until I stumbled upon a pile of neglected papers hidden beneath our bed that the truth began to unravel. Among them, a stark reminder of a looming debt, a burden of $200,000. Confronting Eric, I demanded answers. He brushed off my concerns, citing the debt as an inheritance from his parents, tied to the liquor store. While technically not personal debt, it cast a shadow of doubt over our relationship, revealing a breach of trust. As I grappled with this revelation, I realized that my journey to financial freedom would be fraught with challenges. Yet, armed with determination and resilience, I vowed to emerge stronger from this ordeal. Tomorrow, on my 55th birthday, I embark on a new chapter of my life, liberated from the shackles of debt and deception. The saga of our financial challenges continued to unfold, each revelation testing the strength of our relationship. When a letter arrived bearing the ominous label, "Final Notice," Eric's attempt to reassure me fell short. His suggestion that we delay payment to prioritize our personal expenses only exacerbated my growing unease. Despite his reassurances that our business and home were secure, the weight of uncertainty lingered. Then, unexpectedly, he proposed a solution that left me unsettled. "Why don't you help me pay off the debt?" he suggested, pointing out my relatively comfortable financial position. While I understood the importance of supporting each other in marriage, his request felt like an unfair burden, especially considering the origins of the debt. As we deliberated over our next steps, Eric appealed to my sense of community responsibility. His liquor store wasn't just a business. It was a vital lifeline for the neighborhood, providing essential goods and services to residents. I couldn't deny the impact it had on our community, nor could I ignore the earnestness in Eric's plea for assistance. Reluctantly, I agreed to contribute financially while he focused on managing the store. It was a compromise born out of love and a shared commitment to weathering life's storms together. However, little did I know that this decision would mark the beginning of a profound shift in our relationship dynamics. As time passed, Eric's behavior grew increasingly erratic. Late nights at the store became the norm, punctuated by excuses and evasive responses. His casual drinking with customers escalated into a concerning pattern, leaving me to question the true nature of his business dealings. In moments of inebriation, Eric's words took on a sharper edge, subtly implying that my financial contributions were not just a gesture of support, but an obligation. His comparisons to friends who seemingly had it all only added to my growing sense of unease. Despite my attempts to broach the subject of starting a family, Eric's reaction was dismissive, citing our ongoing financial struggles as a barrier to parenthood. It was a bitter pill to swallow, realizing that our dreams had been indefinitely deferred by the weight of debt and uncertainty. As I navigated this tumultuous chapter of our marriage, I couldn't shake the feeling that our relationship was teetering on the edge of a precipice, with the looming specter of financial ruin threatening to engulf us both. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me like a heavy burden as I stifled my frustration. My husband's comparison to Lucas's thriving family only added fuel to the fire of my suppressed desires for parenthood. Yet, I found myself unable to voice my discontent, silenced by the stark differences between our circumstances. In the depths of my disappointment, I clung to the hope that once Eric's debts were settled, we could finally realize our dream of starting a family. His callous proposition that I should earn enough to expedite the repayment process before even considering parenthood left a bitter taste in my mouth. But driven by my eagerness to rid ourselves of this financial albatross, I threw myself into work with renewed determination. Years blurred into decades as I sacrificed my personal aspirations on the altar of financial stability. Despite my relentless efforts and burgeoning success in my career, the specter of debt loomed large, casting a shadow over my dreams of motherhood. As I approached my 40s, the realization dawned upon me with crushing finality. The window of opportunity for starting a family was rapidly closing. Yet, in my unwavering devotion to Eric and our shared future, I convinced myself that his love was enough to fill the void left by unfulfilled dreams. The passage of time saw Eric's absences from home grow increasingly prolonged, his late-night returns shrouded in mystery and suspicion. Yet, rather than confront the cracks in our relationship, I buried myself deeper in my role as his steadfast partner, determined to weather the storm together. With each passing year, I toiled tirelessly to secure our financial future, seizing every opportunity for advancement and monetary gain. Yet, as the date of our final debt payment loomed on the horizon, I couldn't shake the nagging sense of disillusionment that gnawed at my soul. As the long-awaited day of liberation approached, I allowed myself a rare moment of indulgence, envisioning a future free from the shackles of debt and uncertainty. With trembling hands and a heart heavy with anticipation, I prepared a lavish celebration to mark the end of our financial struggles. Yet, when Eric returned home that evening, his reaction shattered the illusion of our shared happiness. His laughter, hollow and devoid of joy, echoed through the walls of our home, leaving me reeling in disbelief at the cruel twist of fate that awaited me. In that moment of revelation, as Eric's words pierced through the veil of my naivety, I realized the painful truth. The man I had loved and supported for so long was not the partner I had imagined him to be. And as the realization washed over me, I knew that the journey to true freedom had only just begun. The shock of his words reverberated through my being as I struggled to comprehend the depth of his betrayal. For 22 years, I had stood by his side, shouldering the weight of his debts and sacrificing my own dreams for the sake of our marriage. And yet, in a single moment, he callously dismissed me as if I were nothing more than a disposable asset. His cruel declaration, delivered with a smugness that cut to the core of my being, left me reeling with disbelief. The divorce petition, thrust into my trembling hands like a dagger, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of love and the depths of human cruelty. As the reality of his infidelity dawned upon me, tears blurred my vision, mingling with the bitter taste of betrayal. The feast I had prepared with such care now lay forgotten, a testament to the shattered illusions of our shared future. With a steely resolve born of righteous anger, I accepted the divorce papers, determined to reclaim my dignity and seek justice for the years of deception and manipulation. Gathering my belongings, I left behind the ruins of our marriage, my heart heavy with grief and indignation. In the solitude of my newfound independence, I sought solace in the counsel of legal experts, eager to hold him accountable for his actions. With meticulous precision, I drafted a divorce agreement that demanded restitution for the financial sacrifices I had made on his behalf. When he called, his voice dripping with indignation, I remained steadfast in the face of his protests. The loan agreement, a testament to my unwavering support throughout our marriage, left him grasping for excuses, his sense of entitlement crumbling in the face of my resolve. For years, I had poured my heart and soul into our relationship, only to be cast aside without a second thought. But as I stood on the precipice of a new beginning, I refused to be defined by the wreckage of our past. With each step forward, I reclaimed a piece of myself, determined to emerge from the ashes of my broken marriage stronger and more resilient than ever before. And as the final chapter of our story unfolded, I found redemption in the knowledge that true justice had been served. The gravity of the situation seemed to finally dawn on him as he faced the stark reality of his actions. Perhaps he had believed he could sever ties with me cleanly, avoiding any financial obligations, especially considering the locally renowned attorney's involvement. His naivety bordered on the ludicrous. His attempt to plead poverty fell flat against the backdrop of his successful business. The suggestion of selling the store to settle our affairs met with resistance, revealing his attachment to material possessions. Despite his protests, I remained resolute, refusing to entertain his excuses. Yet, one question lingered in my mind, a final curiosity about his new bride-to-be. His defensive response only fueled my amusement, and I couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. But his unexpected plea for reconciliation caught me off guard. The audacity of his proposition, after all he had put me through, left me seething with anger. With a final retort, I severed the connection, determined to leave him behind for good. In the aftermath of our tumultuous exchange, I found myself reflecting on the 22 years we had spent together. What had once seemed like a partnership built on mutual respect and admiration had revealed itself to be nothing more than a facade. His pursuit of remarriage, fueled by a misguided sense of entitlement, had led him down a path of folly. His infatuation with a much younger woman, born of a chance encounter, had only served to highlight his desperation. As I delved deeper into the details of his indiscretions, I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. His attempts at flirtation, once viewed as harmless, now seemed pitiful in hindsight. Yet, amidst the chaos of our crumbling marriage, I found solace in the realization that his folly was no longer my burden to bear. With each revelation, I shed the weight of his expectations, reclaiming my independence and self-worth. And so, as I left behind the wreckage of our failed marriage, I did so with a sense of liberation. For in his foolishness, I had found freedom, and in my resilience, I had found strength. Lucas's revelation about his interaction with Eric's newfound desire for fatherhood struck a chord with me. It was a stark reminder of the tangled web of deceit and manipulation that had characterized my marriage. Despite Lucas's harsh words, I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief that I hadn't spent my golden years tethered to such a man. With the divorce finalized, I found myself grappling with the aftermath of our separation. While the division of our property proved to be a contentious issue, Eric's eventual capitulation came as a surprise. His decision to sell the store to settle our affairs was a bitter pill to swallow, yet it offered a glimmer of closure amidst the chaos. As news of the store's sale spread throughout the community, the true extent of Eric's misdeeds came to light. The once respected proprietor found himself the subject of scorn and ridicule, his reputation tarnished by his selfish actions. While the financial restitution was far from sufficient, Eric's commitment to repaying his debt served as a reminder of the consequences of his betrayal. His continued attempts at reconciliation only served to highlight his desperation, a stark contrast to my newfound sense of independence. With Eric's persistent attempts at contact, I took decisive action to protect myself from further harm. The threat of legal action served as a deterrent, forcing him to retreat into the shadows of his own making. As I embarked on a new career path as a marriage counselor, I found purpose in helping others navigate the complexities of relationships. Drawing from my own experiences, I sought to empower couples to communicate openly and honestly, avoiding the pitfalls that had plagued my own marriage. While the financial sacrifice was significant, the fulfillment I found in my new role far outweighed any monetary concerns. With each success story, I found renewed strength and resilience, grateful for the opportunity to make a positive impact on the lives of others. In the end, I had found my own happiness in the aftermath of my divorce. And as I guided others on their journey to fulfillment, I remained steadfast in my commitment to ensuring that no one else suffered the same fate as I had. As I settled into my new role as a marriage counselor, I found myself immersed in the intricacies of human relationships. Every day brought new challenges and triumphs, as couples sought guidance on Lucasers, both profound and mundane. From communication breakdowns to financial disagreements, I was privileged to offer insights gleaned from my own tumultuous journey. Drawing from my experiences, I emphasized the importance of transparency and mutual respect in fostering healthy relationships. I encouraged couples to confront their issues head-on, rather than allowing resentment to fester beneath the surface. Through frank and open dialogue, I witnessed the transformative power of vulnerability and empathy. One particularly memorable couple sought my guidance in navigating the complexities of blending their families. With children from previous marriages and differing financial priorities, they faced a myriad of challenges that threatened to derail their newfound happiness. Through tailored counseling sessions and practical advice, they learned to prioritize compromise and understanding, laying the foundation for a harmonious future together. Another couple, struggling with the aftermath of infidelity, sought solace in my office, their hearts heavy with pain and regret. As they grappled with the betrayal and mistrust that had fractured their bond, I offered a listening ear and a guiding hand, helping them navigate the difficult path towards forgiveness and healing. In each interaction, I was reminded of the resilience of the human spirit and the capacity for growth and transformation. Despite the scars of past traumas, couples emerged stronger and more resilient, their love deepened by the challenges they had overcome together. Outside of my counseling practice, I devoted myself to community outreach and education, hosting workshops and seminars on topics ranging from financial literacy to conflict resolution. Through these initiatives, I sought to empower individuals and couples alike, equipping them with the tools and knowledge needed to build fulfilling and sustainable relationships. As the years passed, my reputation as a trusted advisor and confidant grew, attracting clients from all walks of life seeking guidance and support. With each success story, I felt a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing that I had played a small role in helping others find happiness and fulfillment in their lives. Though my journey had been marked by heartache and betrayal, I emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before. With each passing day, I embraced the opportunity to make a positive impact on the lives of others, grateful for the chance to turn my